Think about the worst thing that ever happened to you. You do not have to try hard. It is already there. Now think about the best day of your life. You have to reach for it. You have to reconstruct it, piece by piece, the way you would assemble something that has been taken apart. The pain came immediately. The joy took effort. And that is not a coincidence. That is not a character flaw. That is not something broken inside you. That is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. And once you understand why, you will never think about your own mind the same way again. In 1998, psychologist Roy Baumeister published a paper that will become one of the most cited studies in the history of social psychology. The title was 4 words: Bad is stronger than good. Baumeister and his team reviewed decades of research across memory, emotion, relationships, and decision-making. And across every single domain, they found the same pattern. Negative experiences had a stronger, faster, and longer-lasting impact on the human mind than positive ones of equal intensity. A single criticism remembered longer than 10 compliments. One bad day affecting mood for a week. One good day forgotten by Tuesday. A loss felt twice as intensely as an equivalent gain. He called this negativity bias, and it runs in every human brain on the planet, without exception. But here's what Baumeister could not fully explain in 1998. Why? Why would a brain deliberately hold on to pain and release joy? Why would evolution build a system that makes us miserable by default? The answer came from neuroscience, and it is stranger than most people expect. Your brain has one job above everything else: not to make you happy, not to help you succeed, not to help you build a meaningful life, to keep you alive. And pain is more useful for survival than joy. Here is why. If you touch a hot stove and feel pain, and remember that pain, you never touch a hot stove again. The memory protects you. It keeps you alive. If you eat a delicious meal and feel joy, and remember that joy, it tells you nothing about danger. It is pleasant, but it does not protect you. From the perspective of pure survival, a painful memory is worth more than a joyful one. So your brain prioritizes it, stores it deeper, retrieves it faster, holds it longer. In 2007, researchers at New York University used brain imaging to study how emotional memories are formed and stored. When a negative experience happens, the amygdala activates immediately. It floods the hippocampus with stress hormones, norepinephrine, cortisol. These hormones act like a highlighter on the memory. They mark it. They say this matters. Do not lose this. Keep this forever. The more intense the negative emotion, the stronger the hormonal signal. The stronger the signal, the deeper the memory is burned in. This is why you can remember exactly where you were when something terrible happened. The room, the light, the smell, the exact words someone said. Your brain photographed it. Now here is what happens with positive experiences. The amygdala still activates, but weakly. The hormonal signal is smaller. The memory forms, but it does not burn in the same way. It fades faster. It loses detail sooner. Your brain photographs pain in high resolution. It photographs joy on a disposable camera. But there is a second layer to this. It is not just that negative memories are stored more deeply. It is that your brain actively rehearses them. During REM sleep, the brain does not replay all memories equally. It preferentially replays emotionally significant memories. And emotionally significant almost always means negative. While you sleep, your brain is doing homework on your worst moments. When you walk into a room and one person is cold to you and 9 people are warm, you think about the cold person. When you receive 10 pieces of feedback and 9 are positive and 1 is critical, you remember the criticism. When you look back on a relationship and there were years of good moments and a handful of painful ones, the painful ones feel like the defining ones. This is not weakness. This is not pessimism. This is structural. It is in the architecture of how your brain processes information, because this bias does not just affect memory. It affects how you see the future. In 2005, researchers found that the brain responds to the possibility of loss more strongly than to the possibility of equivalent gain. This is why people stay in situations they know are wrong. This is why people avoid trying things they want. Because the imagined pain of failure feels more real than the imagined joy of success. Your brain is not just storing the past differently. It is using that stored pain to shape every decision about the future. But here is what the research also shows. The negativity bias is not fixed. It is not a permanent setting. In 2019, neuroscientist Rick Hansen at UC Berkeley published research showing that the brain's tendency to let positive experiences slide off while negative ones stick can be interrupted, not eliminated, not reversed. Interrupted. The mechanism is simple but requires something most people never do deliberately: duration. When something good happens, the brain's default is to process it in seconds and move on. But if you deliberately stay with a positive experience for 20 to 30 seconds, the amygdala has time to activate more fully. The hormonal signal strengthens. The memory begins to encode more deeply. You are manually operating the highlighter. Hansen called this taking in the good, not positive thinking, not affirmations, not pretending pain does not exist. Simply staying with a good moment long enough for your brain to actually photograph it. Think about the last time something good happened to you. How long did you stay with it? Probably seconds. A moment of connection, a small success, a feeling of peace on a quiet morning, gone before your brain had time to register it properly. And the last time something painful happened, how long did you stay with it? Probably much longer than you chose to. That asymmetry is not your fault. It is a default setting of every human brain that has ever existed. But it is a default, not a destiny. The brain that replays your worst moments at 3 a.m. is not broken. It is doing its job. The brain that lets your best moments slip away before they fully land is not failing you. It is doing its job. The job just was not designed for the life you are actually living. You are not living in that world. But your brain does not know that yet. And the only way to tell it is to stay. To stay with the good things long enough for them to matter. 20 seconds. That is all it takes to begin rewriting the default. Not to erase the pain, but to give the joy somewhere permanent to live.